Good morning and welcome to yoga on this Monday morning. Today we're going to work on some good lower body stretching, a little bit of some neck work, just some good all around stretching with that. Probably a couple of core moves just to keep bringing in that strengthen and core element to our practice, and we'll go from there. So let's begin in a simple cross-legged pose. And let's just take and roll those shoulders back a few times and then forward. Nice. And then let's let the hands rest on the legs. Keep those shoulders back and down, back nice and straight. Nice deep breaths from the belly. And all the way up through the chest, exhaling through the nose. And then let's take a nice deep breath in, bring those arms overhead, reach the fingers towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. One more time, inhale the arms up. And exhale, release. Let's go ahead, keep the butt on the floor, just walk those hands forward, shoulders down. Just take a nice few deep breaths here. And then walk the hands over to that left side. And as you can feel, this is a really good stretch for the back of the hip, the side, and into the glute. So if any of those areas are really tight for you or giving you problems, this stretch is a good friend for you. One more time back to center. And then come all the way up. Let's go ahead and bring those feet together. Let's start by holding on to the toes and just bringing the elbows down towards the legs. Get a good stretch for the inner thighs, those hip flexors where we carry so much tension. And then come back up and let's just hold on to the ankles, straightening the back, shoulders down. Just let those legs drop open towards the floor. And release. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg out, cross your right leg over or keep it on the inside. Let's bring that left elbow to the right knee and bring that right hand behind you. Nice deep breaths here. Remember, you can always make this stretch as intense as you want by pressing that forearm into the leg. And come back to center. Let's just keep that right leg crossed over the left and come down over that left leg. And come back up, extend that right leg out. Same twist, just on the opposite side. Right elbow onto that left knee, left hand behind you. Nice deep breaths here. And the great thing about doing this combo together is that this portion really stretches that outer IT band and hip area. And then when we flip over and extend or just let that leg rest on it, we're getting a really good stretch for the inside and the opposite side. So it's always good to do these two, the twist and then this together. Just it helps loosen up the whole area. And then come back. Let's come over onto hands and knees. And let's go ahead and just take a nice deep breath in. Let that belly dip towards the floor. Lift the head up. And then on the exhale, arch the back, tucking the chin in towards the chest. And one more time. Inhale, dip the belly, lift the head. And exhale, arch the back, tuck the chin in. And release. And let's go ahead and just extend that left arm out and the right leg behind. Try to create a nice long line from those left fingers toward the right toes. And then release. And other side, right arm out, left leg back. And release. And we're going to repeat that just a little bit faster on each side. And after the extension, we're going to bring the opposite knee and elbow together. So let's start with that left side. So out and in. So if you coordinate it with your breathing, this is an inhale, exhale. Let's do this 3 more times. And then release. And sometimes it's good just to take a couple breaths in between to get your center of gravity back so you don't feel like you're off to one side. And then let's go ahead, extend that other side, in and out. And one more time. And release. Let's go ahead, sit back on those heels, just press the palms into the legs, straightening that back. Nice couple of deep breaths here. And then let's just bring those hands together behind the back, interlocking the fingers, lift the hands and the arms away from the body. Take some deep breaths, and then we're just going to lean forward. And then slowly come back up. Let's come back onto the hands and knees. And go ahead and push up into downward dog. Remember, it's always a little uncomfortable, the first one we do of the day. Everything's still pretty tight. So if you want, just go ahead, pedal those feet a little bit to help warm up the calves. And just keep pushing away from those hands down through the legs. Nice deep breaths. And then come back down to the knees. Take a nice couple of deep breaths here. And then we're going to go back up into our downward dog. Take 4 nice deep inhales and exhales here. And then slowly come back down. Let's go ahead, come all the way down onto the belly. Let's start with the elbows, arms bent, just in front of you, and then let's just press down with those hands. And remember, on any of these upward motions like this, just be mindful of that lower back. A little bit of stretching is good. If it hurts, take it back down, okay? The lower back strength is part of building core strength. So the stronger we get our core, the less pain we have in our lower backs. Okay. And then we're going to take the hands to each side of the chest, push up. And back down. And then push all the way up, back into downward dog. Nice couple of deep breaths here. Then go ahead, let's walk those feet up into a standing forward bend. And then slowly roll yourself all the way up. Come in to mountain pose. Let's go ahead and just take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhale, arms up, come up on the toes. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up, come up on the toes. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead, widen the legs, hinge forward from the hips. And we're going to just bend the legs and let our arms rest on the legs. This is one of the variations of a forward bend, and it's nice to kind of mix it up sometimes because each one focuses a little bit differently. Okay, we're going to hang out here for a couple more nice breaths. And then we're just going to rotate side to side. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. You want to just try to keep your back in a diagonal shape there so it doesn't hunch forward or arch. And just take turns straightening those legs. One more on each side. Back to center. Let's bring those hands to the floor. Straighten the legs as much as you can. And we're going to keep our left hand down and stretch that right arm up. Always be mindful of your neck with these. So if it hurts to look up, you can keep that head down. And then right hand down, left arm up. And back down. And then let's slowly roll ourselves back up. And we're going to keep that left foot on the ground. Right foot planted. Let's just turn the hips so they're facing over that right leg. Soft bend in that right knee. Bring the arms up overhead. Let those shoulders relax down. Keep your core engaged here the whole time. That doesn't mean sucking it in. It just means keeping it strong and stable. From here, let's go ahead, come into our warrior two, extending out through the arms, soft bend in that right knee, shoulders down. And then go ahead and keep that right leg where it's at. Right elbow rests down, left arm stretches up and over. Back to center. Let's do that same thing on the other side. Right heel planted. Turn those hips over the left side. Arms up into warrior one. Shoulders down. And settle into warrior two. And down into extended side angle bend. And then slowly come back up. Let's walk those feet back together, turn towards the side. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale into standing forward bend. And then lower yourself down to the hands and knees. And let's go ahead and extend and bring that right leg forward. And we're going to take both hands and place them down on the inside of that left or the right foot. It helps deepen that stretch just a little bit more. Really focuses on this IT band and hip. And then we're going to go ahead, press the hands gently into that right leg, back nice and straight. And then come back down. And let's step that right leg back. Left leg forward, both hands to the inside of that left foot. Nice deep stretch here. And then bring the hands up, gently pressing into that left leg. And then come back down, step that leg back. We're going to come over onto our backs, lay down, and we're going to do a little bit of a gentle ab strengthening move and a stretch at the same time. And so we're just going to start by extending that left leg out, bending that right knee in, and hands pressed into the floor. And all we're going to do here is just lift the shoulders off the ground, and we're just going to keep extending out those legs. Now, if you start to feel a lot of pressure in your neck, go ahead and put the head down. The only thing you want to watch for when you do that is keeping this lower back on the ground. Let's do one more on each side. And then bring both feet down. Keeping the hands down on the floor, let's go ahead, lift the hips. Come into a nice soft bridge pose here. Engaging the core, engaging the lower back and the glutes. Try to squeeze those glutes together on this. And then slowly come back down. And we're going to do that again. And this time, if you want, interlock those hands underneath your back. Just a little bit deeper stretch here. Keep those abs engaged. Keep the glutes engaged. And then slowly let your arms go, lower back down. And let's just hug those knees into the chest. Rock side to side a little bit. And let's just start to let the breath slowly slow down. Nice, quiet pace. And we're going to bring both feet to the floor. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg out, bend that right knee into the chest. And just work with your breath on these. So every time you exhale, try to stretch a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and take that right hand, pressing on the inside of that right leg. Try to keep the left side on the floor. Back to center. Take that left hand to the outside of the right knee. Nice stretch over the body. Back to center. Hug that knee in one more time. And then release that right leg. Bend the left knee in. Again, use your exhales here to try to deepen that stretch. And then take the left hand to the inside of that left knee. Open to the left, right side stays down. Back to center. Right hand to the outside of that left leg. Cross the body. Nice deep breaths here. Back to center. Let's bring that knee in one more time. Nice deep stretch. And then bring both feet to the floor. And we're just going to alternate pressing the heel of the hand against the thigh, kind of right underneath of that hip bone. This just helps to really stretch that connective tissue that holds our hips so tight. Let's do 2 more on each side. And let's walk the feet together, letting the knees drop open. Nice deep breaths. Try to keep the small of your back on the floor, the shoulders. Let's go ahead and just stretch those arms overhead. Nice deep breaths here. And then let's bring those arms around. Let the hands rest on the belly. And try to feel each inhale and exhale in the belly. Expanding the hands as you exhale or inhale and letting that empty as you exhale. So you want to just pretend like your belly was just sinking into the floor on each exhale. And let's keep that left hand on the belly. Let the right hand rest on the chest. Feel the wave of breath from the belly up through the chest. Let's keep that right hand on the chest. Bring that left hand up to the forehead. And as you continue the wave of breaths through the inhales and exhales, just take a moment, really let the gentle touch of that left hand on the forehead release any tension between the eyes. Let's go ahead. Let's bring our arms back, open to the sides. Extend those legs out. Just continue to take a nice few deep breaths here. And I want you just to become aware of any parts of the body that are still sore or tight. And just try to breathe into those areas. And on our next exhale, let's go ahead and just bring those arms overhead, stretching those fingertips out, elongating the spine. And then go ahead, bring those arms all the way around, lift both knees, gently rock back and forth a few times. And then rock back up and come into a seated position. And let's go ahead and just keep those hands gently pressed into the legs. Shoulders back. And let's go ahead and take that left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Breathe into these twists. Back to center. Right hand to that left knee, left hand behind. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and bring those arms overhead. Just take that left wrist in the right hand and stretch gently to the right side. Back to center and release. And bring the arms back up. Right wrist in that left hand, stretch to the left side. Back to center, release. Nice deep breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Palms together, hands down to the heart. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Namaste.